Hey, I'm Kevin from Triad Orbit. Recently, I got to hang out with one of today's top Dolby Atmos mix engineers, Jeff Huskins. His studio is inside BMG Nashville. He uses a lot of Triad Orbit gear, and I wanted to see how he's using it, but I was also curious to learn more of what Dolby Atmos is. If you're curious too, come along as we talk with Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
What's going on?
How are you doing?
Good. I'm getting it looking a little better in here.
Hey.
Well, cool.
Take us through what is Atmos for people who are watching who don't know.
Well, Atmos is an immersive format that is based off of, at its core, is a 714 system, which is in this room, it's 3 speakers at the front, 2 at the sides, 2 at the rear, 4 above you, and then subwoofers. So that's the basic system. You can go to a 916 and then larger, depending on the size of your room. It's very scalable. So, yeah.
What do you see as the future of Atmos?
Well,
Is it a specialty quirk?
at first, a lot of guys were skeptical about it because it's new and it is an expensive entry point as an engineer, and it's like, but it's become the wave of the future. We haven't had a format change in our lifetimes. I mean, I think the last time we went from mono to stereo was in like 1942, 43, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is really the first, and I say that because I really truly believe that Atmos will be the end all beat all here within the next couple of years. We won't even have stereo. And I know that sounds pretty absurd.
That does.
But when you see how this process works, and it's one of those things I just see as the future goes on, there's not going to be a need for stereo. Right now, the only people using stereo on a regular basis is really terrestrial radio. So, yeah, it's the brave new world. Like it or not, boys.
Well, when I bought my Apple Studio display last time I upgraded my Mac, it said immersive sound. And, it does sound good. I barely need to run sound through my studio speakers when I'm just trying to watch a movie or something.
Sounds
What
great.
am I hearing there? That's
It depends on the device you have, but a lot of the new monitors actually have multiple speaker arrays built into the actual monitors, like the new Mac laptops have it in them as well. I mean, and so forth and so on, and so it's giving you a quasi Atmos effect, an immersive effect, and immersive is just basically the term for the whole music, the way it's being done. But the Atmos is the brand, Dolby Atmos is the brand of I think once we get the time coming where everything's HD broadcast and it's all done digitally, with it, whether it's satellite or through XM or whatever it might be, then there's no need at that point, because cars have it. We've got everything from Kia to the new F-150 to the higher end cars, the Mercedes, the Bentleys, the Teslas, and so forth and so on. It's an option in 2024 already. So we have that, and then we have
and those cars are being built specifically in Atmos.
Yeah, the Teslas and the new Mercedes. It's the E series, or it might be it's the top. It might be the S. I guess I'm probably not saying that right, but the new Mercedes is amazing because it not only is the music and everything in Atmos and everything, but everything the car does is in Atmos. So when you hear a car approaching you and it has a ding coming to, it might be close, it comes from the rear of the car and moves its way up. And,
wow.
Yeah. I always said if you hear anything coming over the top,
Stop.
It's going to be a bad day.
Or maybe go left or right. I don't know.
Duck, tuck, and run, or whatever.
That's kind of funny.
That's funny, yeah.
Well, yeah, Genelec, Neve. I mean, you've appointed your room with just what you need and stuff that is absolutely proven.
Yeah.
Now, I've noticed a fair amount of Triad Orbit gadgetry in here. Talk about
I
that.
am a Triad Orbit junkie, and I need to go to rehab.
Here's a new idea. Triad Orbit rehab.
I couldn't function without Triad Orbit.
Setting up is too much fun these days.
Yes.
Well,
the stuff is built. It's built like a tank. It looks like something that came off the space shuttle. Obviously, the correlation there. But
the first time I felt Triad Orbit objects and started working with them, I think this makes so much sense because we've got mics that cost $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. If you're into vintage wacketry,
30,
$10,000.
50, yeah, 50 grand, 100 grand.
And we're supposed to trust it to some flimsy name brands, which I won't
doing
mention, that if you walk around and touch the boom accidentally,
you step funny and it falls.
Yeah. So it was like, duh, why weren't solid stands thought of earlier? But these are.
I use it when I first started using it. I just fell in love with the stands and how they were, and the fact that I could, have a mic stand with a all the attachments on it under the sun, and that was where it first started. And then as I got more into the whole video side of doing my Enter the Atmosphere show,
which, by the way, if you haven't yet, check out the Enter the Atmosphere YouTube channel, because you'll learn all kinds of tips and tricks.
So rocking good time. Yeah, like when I started the show a year ago, the most video I'd ever done in my life would have been just a little bit on my iPhone. I did not understand anything. And now, fast forward a year, I've got switchers and DaVinci and 5 cameras and just, it's craziness. But I couldn't, the time frame that it takes to go from this, for example, this shot that we're doing right now to a shot back here when I had Tommy Emmanuel on my show, and we shot back over here. And to set up from one to the next literally only takes a few minutes, because everything is just pop it out, put it somewhere else, hook it back up, and go. So I wired the room where I've got HDMI and power at every little spot I want, and all I gotta do is just grab my cameras, walk over, stick them in the wall or wherever, and they go. And I hang lights with it. My monitor is being held by it. All my cameras, and I just I wish I wish I could have some gravity boots or something hang from the room and stretch out my back from sitting in this chair. Yeah. Get on that, man.
The world of producing stuff is definitely a better place these days because of that.
But so I tell everybody that they're the really great part about it also on the recording side is it takes up a smaller footprint. I mean, the stuff might be hardcore and bulky, but for example, the one piece, and I don't know the model number, you could probably tell me more, that's got the 2 arms and for the snare, top and bottom. Well, that's brilliant, and it's just it won't fall over. It's there. It's boom. You go, and so that's
you wouldn't think it'd make a big deal, but it sure makes for a tidier life.
And I love their little cable wraps. I'm addicted to those things. They're great.
I want to order more of those.
It makes it look neat. I like neat.
Yeah.
And just remember, we warned you.
It's like a system.
It's the amazing thing ever.
It's almost rehab inducing.
Triad Orbit rehab. That's what I need.